Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Yamato. And this one's not about me, folks. I know, seems weird, right? Occasionally, I have support from teammates that exceeds my expectations greatly. And I have no choice but to put that in a video. I have to. Why? Because I want to promote team play. I know, it's a crazy thought. Like, this is a multiplayer online competitive game, and everybody's out to work for themselves rather than work as a team to win the match. Now, you may have noticed already that we got blessed in our battleship with 10 destroyers in this match. Which means that any chance of this being a high damage game goes out the window the moment we logged in. Right? I mean, there is that. Like, you can't... I don't care how good you are, you can't put up 200,000 damage when 5 of your enemies are 23,000 health or less. It's just not likely, okay? Maybe if your team completely gets their butt kicked and you are the absolute GOAT of World of Warships Legends, which we all know that I am not. But needless to say, we can all see that this is probably not going to be a game where the battleship shines, right? Because we're going to spend most of the game fearing for our lives by ships that we can't see. However, that doesn't mean that we can't make an impact on the ships that we can see. And who makes a better impact on ships that you can see than Yamato? There really isn't a whole lot of skill to playing Yamato, most of the time. There's a skill to playing Yamato well, which we can go into in another video if that's something you guys are interested in. However, to just log in, play Yamato, and get a high damage game is about as easy as any ship in the game. Probably easier than almost every other class in the game, with the exception of maybe destroyers. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought we dev struck that Izumo right there. That looked so good. I think the only thing saving him was that he was kind of angled in towards us, and instead of getting citadels, we just got full penetrations. Remember, he has basically the same armor we do, so he gets really thick belt armor. And so you can penetrate that belt armor without getting to the citadel, especially at longer ranges where you're not going to get the full effect of your penetration. So keep that in mind. Now, that being said, we know that there are 10 destroyers. Now, this is where being an experienced player comes in clutch. Paying attention to the minimap, okay? Paying attention to the minimap, paying attention to when you're spotted and how you're spotted is so clutch and will save your bacon in these kinds of games more often than not. And what do I mean by that? I mean, pay attention to where destroyers are spotted, like the current destroyer that's spotted just off of my bow while I'm fighting this Izumo right now. Yes, we pay attention to that. Sure, I'm fighting the Izumo, but that doesn't mean that I completely ignore the fact that there's a Kaba spotted directly off my bow. That's going to come into play very, very soon. Now, obviously, Izumo is taking shots at me. I anticipated him turning back a lot sooner. Jean Bart decides to take a little chunk out of me as well here, and I actually got pretty lucky there. Jean Bart's fully capable of citadeling me this close. So I've got to be very, very fortunate there that he didn't take advantage of that. As I was mentioning, you know, I thought he got torqued to death. He did not. He survived. So we take a shot here just to reiterate to Jean Bart that he should not have messed with my Yamato. Again, temper, right? You fire at me, I fire back with a full broadside. All right? Then, of course, the first time that the Kaba shoots us with HE, he sets a fire. Fortunately for us, he doesn't get double fires or triple fires on us, which is unusual. Usually a Kaba will set a fire darn near every time he hits me. But this guy didn't do that, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I should say. But he has a problem. Now watch what my destroyers all do here. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit frustrated in the moment. Now obviously, I don't talk in game. I keep myself out of the comms for a reason. Like, I tend to get way too emotional. Y'all know this from the streams. I try to keep myself out of comms for that reason. So I use the dialogue wheel to try to get help. And it looks like everybody on my team is going to run away. However, that's not the case. My pleas do not fall on deaf ears. For once. Now here, We're angled relatively well. He gets a couple of penetrations, a couple of overpins. And again, I thought he was dead here. But only one. Only one this time. We're definitely in range to Citadel the man. But he gets fortunate enough to get out of the way and get behind the island. Now, obviously, we're detecting the Kaaba off the bow. And we're going to try to get shots on this Kaaba. But he's going to do the right thing. He's going to turn and he's going to kite. Now, here's the thing. What do we always say about chasing kites? We don't do it, right? You especially don't chase kites when it's a freaking destroyer that will ruin your life with ghost torpedoes that don't get spotted until they are half a kilometer off of your ship, which leaves basically no time to dodge. Meaning you have to know that the torpedoes are coming and dodge them before you actually see them. You know how hard it is to dodge torpedoes when you don't know that they're there or where they're at? It's a lot easier when you know the direction that they're coming from. So you can see I'm trying to hurry up and get clutch shots over the island here. And we do actually get a good hit into him for around 3,000 damage. Now against the Kaaba, 3,000 damage is not that much. Remember, they get like 23,000 health and healed, potentially, if they're not a smoke screen. Well, we already know he's a smoke screen because he was sitting in a smoke screen shooting us. So we already know that he's got a smoke screen rather than heals. So in this case, taking 3k off of him there is actually a good thing. Now this Shima is trying to help me out by torping the Izmo here. So he's kind of running into me. And it seems like he's not doing much in terms of trying to actually help me. And you can see that that's not the case. He actually, once he gets off of me after he rammed me because he was dropping torps, and again, I have no problem with it. If you run into me because you're dropping torps and I'm in a situation where I'm not immediately in danger, like that situation where I'm turned away from the guy that's possibly torping me. He's got short-range torps. He was going away from me. I'm not real worried about the torps at that point. Izmo is actually the biggest threat to me right here because I'm now giving him a full broadside, but I was angled against him in that moment. So those situations, they happen, especially in destroyers when you're going really fast and you're trying to get torps off and get all your sets out. I can understand that. So I don't get frustrated at people in those situations. I get frustrated at people when I'm in a situation where I'm in dire strait. I've got a battleship trying to ram me, or I've got a destroyer about to YOLO around the corner and you're running into me then. That's when I get upset. Like, I need to be able to maneuver my ship, and if you're right on top of me, that's not going to be happening. Just due to the physics of the game. Now, he, to his credit, goes out and spots the Kaaba. Now, unfortunately, I had just fired at the Izmo. His torpedoes are actually landing home on the Izmo, which is huge. And we have to wait, and he's able to survive long enough. The Kaaba fires his guns at him, so he stays spotted even while the Shima's in a smokescreen here. And we take a torpedo that could have been devastating. Had that torpedo caused a flood, that is a perma-flood for 50 seconds. That could have been devastating. You saw what I mean by those torpedoes just popping up out of existence at the last possible second, and you not having any chance to really dodge them once they do get spotted. And I'll be honest, I didn't expect his torpedoes. I know he has 6-kilometer torpedoes, but he's been kind of going away from us, so I wasn't expecting torpedoes. Watch this last torpedo. Look at that. Where did it come from? We saw his first set go by. His second set was at the Shima. How the heck did he get one torpedo, just a random torpedo coming down the side of my ship, and it didn't get spotted until it was halfway past my ship? It's just one of those things that you just look at and you're like, I would have died there, probably, because it would have got a flood, guaranteed, because you know darn well I ain't getting lucky twice. Like, almost every torpedo causes a flood, whether you take it on the belt or not. Now, taking it on the belt like we did is supposed to reduce the damage, especially in a Yami or something with really good torp protection like the Yami, and it's supposed to reduce the chance of flooding. And you saw it in action. It actually did not flood us. But here we get the rail guns of dreams from my Yami, and he goes down. Like, you ain't getting away from that, sunshine. You're just done. You're done. And I give a thank you. Now, obviously, I don't know if he understands it because there's nothing that pops up on the map saying thank you. But he does say affirmative. So I'm hoping that he understood it, what I was doing. I'm actually thanking him with the dialogue wheel. Why? Because he did his job as a destroyer. He used his concealment to get close and keep that guy spotted and give me a chance to fight him off. And because of that, we are going to pull this game back and win this match. All it takes is a little bit of teamwork. It doesn't take people going out of their way to do crazy things that are going to cost them, damage and all of that. Like I've always said, you can do your job as a destroyer and still come top of the leaderboard with very little damage done because you're doing your job. You're capturing bases, you're spotting people, you're getting people killed, you're engaging destroyers or getting destroyers engaged by other people, which gives you a huge boost to XP. Believe it or not, destroyers are one of the most expensive ships in the game for earning XP. You want to earn a lot of XP, kill a lot of destroyers. It's just the truth. That's the way it is. So keep that in mind. Now, obviously, we take a shot at the Kagero, we come up short. He was able to turn away from us in the smoke, which is real unfortunate, but he's gonna die here. Iowa goes down to the Wichita. We only have 30k health, but who is the biggest threat to my destroyers right now? It's Wichita. Now, I'm expecting at any point that I can be torpedoed into oblivion. There are still 2 destroyers out there. We don't know where they're at, so they could be anywhere. So I'm trying to get rid of the radar cruiser that will absolutely kill my teammates. That is my goal here. Now, obviously, Kagero gets spotted. We always say, if you see a destroyer, you shoot a destroyer. It is that simple. Though he does smoke up, and then I look back at my Wichita. Wichita got blapped, so he's like, oh, I gotta get out of here. Well, then Kagero gets spotted again. Now we take the shot. We've already got the guns on target, and wait for it. Boom! A beautiful shot, 6,500 damage. Now, if you think about a Kagero only having anywhere from 11,000 to 15,000 hit points on average, then doing 6,500, that's half his health gone by me. And that's why he was able to be so quickly removed. That's a huge amount of hit points removed. Now we get another shot here. Beautiful look at the Wichita. Wichita sees us fire. He immediately turns in. So we're not expecting much out of this. But we get a decent result. We get a full pin and an over pin. So that reduces most of his hit points. And again, makes him an easy kill. He has less than 5,000 hit points at this point. We know that because he's got less than a full bar of health. Each of those little bars is 5,000 hit points, if you guys didn't know that. So we know he's got less than 5,000 hit points. He's being duressed. He's under duress by destroyers, and we get rail guns again. And at this point, I knew he was dead. Whether it's by me or my destroyers, he's done. We do get the finish off with 1,400 damage, and then there's just 1 destroyer left. Now, watch what I do next. We're already in the cap, right? We've won our flank. We are coming back in to support taking the caps. And we are going to go from here and try to get as many caps as possible. You do that by getting to the center of the map. If you're on epicenter, if you get to the center and you capture the center, you're also capturing the outside rings. So not only are you getting the inside ring, but you're getting each of the outside rings as a cap. So by getting to the center of the ring and counting towards that being capped, we're going to be able to get an assist cap for all 3 caps, thereby maximizing our XP earned for these caps. Now obviously, if these were solo caps, they'd be worth more. We're splitting the XP for capturing the base with everybody that's in the caps, so we're not going to get a lot of XP from it, but it still means that we're going to get more XP than if we hadn't actually gotten into a position to capture bases. And more battleships need to learn to capture bases. It's not just the destroyer, it's not just the cruiser's job to capture bases. You can do it as well. And I see a lot of battleship captains who spend the entire game hiding at the back of the map and never make any effort whatsoever to capture bases, and then they wonder why they lose. So make sure that you're making an effort to support your destroyers. Keep an eye out for the people who are willing to help you and support them. Out of all of these destroyers that are left, we know the torpedoes just came through the gap in front of us. Who am I going to follow here? Who is the one person that has been with me this entire game and has helped me out? That's the person I am going to support. Do I think he actually knows where the destroyer is? Not really. I don't think any of these guys actually have twist and track or perceptive. So that's why I wasn't expecting him to get spotted here. And spoiler alert, he doesn't actually get spotted. However, if I'm going to support any of these guys, I'm going to support my dude Shima, who has helped me throughout the match. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You help me, I help you. It's that simple. It really is. And that's what team play is all about. We're all here for the same purpose. We're all wanting to win, supposedly. Like, that's the goal of this game, by the way, is to win a match, you know? I know a lot of people like to get high damage games and put it on YouTube, but sometimes you need to show these games like this so that people can see, oh, it's not all about damage. Sometimes it's about just doing the things that your team needs you to do to win the match. Did we have a crazy good game? No. 130k, we did get a high cal. Against 10 destroyers, like, this isn't bad. We had 5 destroyers on the enemy team to get 130k with only 3 battleships. That's not bad. That's not bad. We got to fight 2 of the battleships and do a decent chunk to both of them. But at the end of the day, the result is a win. Because we worked together and we all pushed for a common goal. We didn't throw our ships away. We played smart and we played effective. And we helped each other out. And if more people do that, this game gets so much better. So much nicer. When you actually have people. And I'm not just talking about division mates. Division mates obviously make it a lot better. But when randos work together on a team, it is a beautiful thing. It really is. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. 130,000 damage, top of the leaderboard in a battleship in a destroyer game with 5 destroyers? Who'da thunk it? And I go ahead and I hit that add friends button to the Shima as well. Even though he's a PlayStation guy, I can't send him a message, but who knows? And does anybody think it's what do you call it? I forget it. I forget what the term I'm actually thinking. Anyway, does anybody think it's ironic that the person that helped me and went for the team was somebody with the name USMC? As in United States Marine Corps, as in an armed service participant? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.